Ukraine has no navy, yet it sinks Russian warships. 28 vessels destroyed or damaged since the war began. Naval drones costing $250,000 sink ships worth $65 million. This is asymmetric warfare at sea. Naval Frontline brings you the revolution from where fleets meet first. At 03:47 a.m. Black Sea time, Ukrainian naval drone approaches Sevastopol harbor. The unmanned vessel is 6 meters long, twin outboard motors, explosive payload in the bow. Satellite navigation guides it toward target. Russian coastal radar detects small surface contact, classification uncertain. Could be debris, could be fishing boat, could be threat. The duty officer hesitates. The drone accelerates to 40 knots. Decision window closes. At 04:12, the drone strikes Russian landing ship Caesar Kunikov. Explosion tears open the hull below waterline. Fire erupts from fuel tanks. The ship lists immediately. Crew abandons vessel. 14 minutes later, the landing ship capsizes. It sinks in Sevastopol roadstead. Satellite imagery confirms the kill. Ukraine celebrates. Russia evacuates more vessels from Sevastopol. The pattern repeats. Naval Frontline monitors the tactical revolution transforming Black Sea warfare. Ukraine lost its flagship Hetman Sahai-Dakhny in the first days of war. Scuttled to prevent capture, the Navy ceased to exist as conventional force. No destroyers, no frigates, no corvettes, nothing that could challenge Russian Black Sea fleet. So Ukraine built different navy, unmanned surface vessels, naval drones, sea baby platforms. They cost almost nothing compared to traditional warships. They risk no crew. They strike without warning. 2 fleets. One has ships, one has drones. Which strategy wins? The Sea Baby drone carries 450 kilograms of explosives. Range exceeds 800 kilometers. Autonomous navigation, satellite communication, low radar signature, difficult to detect, harder to intercept. Russian warships deploy machine guns. Helicopters hunt for drones. Patrol boats establish defensive perimeters. None of it works consistently. The drones keep getting through. Flagship Moskva sits on the seabed, sunk by Neptune missiles in April 2022. But drones finished what missiles started. Landing ship Novocherkassk destroyed in port December 2023. Submarine Rostov-on-Don hit while in dry dock. Corvette Ivanovets sunk by drone swarm February 2024. The list grows monthly. Who holds naval advantage here? A. Russian Black Sea Fleet with traditional warships. B. Ukrainian naval drones with asymmetric tactics. C. Technology favors the attacker. At R9:23, Russian Navy announces new defensive measures, floating barriers around Sevastopol, boom nets across harbor entrance, additional patrol boats, more surveillance cameras, increased helicopter flights. The countermeasures look impressive. They fail repeatedly. Ukrainian drones adapt faster than Russian defenses. Some drones carry thermal cameras. They navigate at night. They approach from unexpected vectors. They coordinate attacks. 3 drones simultaneously from different bearings. Russian defenders must split fire. Statistics favor the attackers. Naval Frontline examines the economic calculations driving this warfare. Traditional frigate costs $500 million. Training crew takes years. Losing one means strategic setback. Replacing it takes decades. Ukrainian naval drone costs $250,000. Building it takes weeks. Losing 10 drones equals cost of 1 missile. Ukraine can afford attrition, Russia cannot. At 11:54, satellite imagery shows Russian Black Sea Fleet repositioning. Major units evacuate Sevastopol. Destination, Novorossiysk. Distance 250 kilometers east. The relocation represents strategic defeat. Sevastopol has been Russian naval base since 1783. Crimea was annexed specifically to secure it. Now it is too dangerous to use. Drones achieved what conventional navy never could. They forced fleet withdrawal from Premier Base. But what happened during the development phase changes maritime warfare forever. Ukraine had no naval drone program before the war. Engineers improvised. Commercial jet skis provided propulsion. Civilian GPS enabled navigation. Cell phone components controlled systems. Explosives came from artillery shells. The first prototypes were crude. They worked anyway. Evolution happened rapidly. Each successful strike provided data. Each failure taught lessons. Engineers iterated quickly. Version 2 had better range. Version 3 added stealth features. Version 4 incorporated AI navigation. Version 5 operates in swarms. The development cycle compressed into months what normally takes years. Is this a warning or the start of something bigger? Navies worldwide watch Ukrainian drone operations. Every successful strike validates the concept. Every sunk warship proves vulnerability. Every tactical adaptation gets studied. Defense contractors rush to develop countermeasures. Navies reconsider force structure. The aircraft carrier seemed dominant. Now drones threaten that dominance. The destroyer provided area defense. Now swarms overwhelm its weapons. The submarine offered stealth. Now autonomous underwater vehicles hunt them. Every platform faces new threats. At 1437, Ukraine launches coordinated strike against Kerch Bridge. 12 naval drones approach from different vectors. Russian forces detect them early. Helicopters engage with machine guns. Patrol boats open fire. Most drones get destroyed. 2 penetrate defenses. They strike bridge supports. Damage is minimal. Mission succeeds anyway. The goal was not destruction. The goal was demonstration. We can reach your critical infrastructure. We can strike despite your defenses. We can sustain operations indefinitely. Russia must defend everything. Ukraine can attack anywhere. Advantage, attacker. Naval Frontline analyzes the strategic implications, expanding beyond Black Sea. Iran develops similar drones. Houthi forces deploy them in Red Sea. Commercial shipping faces new threat. Naval escorts struggle to protect every vessel. The technology proliferates. Non-state actors acquire capability. Terrorist organizations gain access. The barrier to entry is low. Plans available online. Components commercially available. Assembly requires basic workshop. Explosive payload is simple. Suddenly, small groups can threaten naval forces. What does the next move look like at sea? Russian Black Sea Fleet operates from Novorossiysk now. Longer distance to patrol areas. Higher fuel consumption. Reduced time on station. Operational effectiveness degrades. Ukraine presses advantage. Drones strike port facilities. They target repair yards. They hunt submarines in transit. The pressure never stops. At 1729, Russian submarine exits Novorossiysk, Kilo-class diesel boat. It dives immediately. Ukrainian intelligence tracks the departure. Naval drones cannot engage submerged targets yet, but surface transit remains vulnerable. The submarine must eventually return. Ukraine waits. Patience costs nothing. Drones sit in warehouse until needed. No crew salaries, no fuel consumption, no maintenance schedule. Perfect economy of force. At 1944, reports emerge of Russian countermeasure success. Helicopter destroyed 2 drones before they reached targets. Patrol boat intercepted 3rd drone. Machine gun fire disabled its motors. The defensive improvements show results. But Ukraine launches 10 drones for every 3 Russia stops. Mathematics still favor attackers. Naval Frontline tracks the evolution of counter-drone tactics. Russia deploys acoustic sensors. Drones make distinctive motor sounds. Hydrophones detect approach. Response time increases. Some drones get intercepted. Ukraine adds electric motors, silent running capability. Detection becomes harder again. Russia installs thermal cameras. Heat signatures reveal drones at night. Ukraine develops cooled exhaust systems. Thermal profile reduces. Russia uses electronic warfare, jamming GPS signals, disrupting satellite communications. Ukraine programs autonomous navigation. Drones complete missions without external input. Action, reaction, counter-reaction. The cycle accelerates. At 22:18, Ukrainian naval drone strikes patrol boat near Snake Island. The small Russian vessel sinks in minutes. Crew rescued by helicopter. Ukraine publishes video footage. First-person view from drone camera. Approach, impact, explosion. The propaganda value exceeds the tactical gain. Recruiting videos show the strikes. Morale increases with each success. Funding flows from international supporters. Volunteers join drone programs. The psychological impact multiplies. Russian sailors fear assignment to Black Sea Fleet. Survival odds decrease with each drone attack. Some vessels refuse to leave port. Crews report sick. Equipment mysteriously malfunctions. Nobody wants to be the next casualty. Naval Frontline examines what this means for future naval warfare. Large, expensive warships face existential threat. Small, cheap drones can destroy them. Traditional force structure becomes questionable. Defense budgets must reconsider priorities. Aircraft carriers cost $13 billion. How many thousands of drones could that buy? Destroyers cost $2 billion each. Drones cost 1,000 times less. Submarines remain effective but vulnerable in transit. The entire naval paradigm shifts. Distributed weapons beat concentrated platforms. Expendable assets beat irreplaceable ones. Quantity has quality all its own. At 01:33, Russia announces expanded air patrols over Black Sea. Helicopters will maintain continuous coverage. Drones will be engaged on site. The declaration sounds confident. Implementation proves difficult. Black Sea covers 436,000 square kilometers. Helicopter endurance is limited. Coverage gaps are inevitable. Ukrainian drones exploit those gaps. They transit during weather. They approach from unexpected directions. They time attacks for shift changes. Human factors create vulnerabilities. At hour 4:51, another Ukrainian drone strike occurs. Target: Russian fuel depot in occupied Crimea. The facility supplies Black Sea Fleet. Destruction disrupts operations. Ships cannot refuel. Missions get cancelled. Operational tempo decreases. Ukraine achieves sea control without controlling the sea. Strange paradox of modern warfare. Russian fleet exists, but cannot operate safely. Ukrainian Navy does not exist, but denies enemy freedom of action. Traditional metrics fail. New frameworks are needed. Who controls these waters? Can traditional navies survive the drone age? Does asymmetric innovation beat symmetric power? Subscribe to Naval Frontline, where fleets meet first. Ukraine rewrote naval warfare. $250,000 drones sink $65 million warships. 28 vessels destroyed or damaged. Sevastopol abandoned. Black Sea Fleet neutralized. All without traditional navy. We bring you coverage from the revolution transforming sea power. The future arrived in the Black Sea, unmanned, unstoppable, undeniable. Naval Frontline monitors every development where technology meets tactics and asymmetric warfare defeats conventional forces.